So a question I often get asked when I make chipping videos is how I go about determining what club I need and where my landing area is. Now, if you're the sort of golfer that just says, I always chip with a whatever the club is, whether it's a 7-iron or whatever, you have to have many different landing spots. I think that's pretty complicated because you've got to do a lot of practice to practice doing various things, having various landing spots. I prefer to keep it as simple as I possibly can. So I want to try and land the ball as close to me as I possibly can, so it spends less time in the air and more time on the ground, and then it can run up to the flag. That's where I always start from. But the very first thing I do when I get to my golf ball is I say to myself, okay, what is the lie like? What's the grass like? So I've put two balls down here. One is the ball is sitting perfect. This is sitting up in the air. There's no big grass behind the ball. I've got clean access to the ball. This one here, the ball's sitting down quite a bit. The grass is sort of reasonably long around it. It's going to be harder for me to get good contact without touching a little bit of grass. So I'm going to choose two different spots here. So I'll start with this one here. So I've got a really good lie. So from here I can say, well, do I want to land the ball on the upslope here? In this case I don't. I have a lot of green to work with. So all I need to do from here is land the ball about 2 to 3 paces on the green. I like to allow for the fact I might miss-hit it, but when I miss-hit it, I still want to land it on the green, not short of the green. So therefore, my landing area when I play this shot is going to be about 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put a golf ball on the green there. I'll put it out of the way a little bit, but that's sort of roughly the area I'm going to try and land the ball. So I've worked out my landing area. The next thing I have to determine is what club is going to land the ball in that spot and then roll up toward the flag. So I've got to hit this about, what would that be, about 6 paces in the air. So it's going to have a little bit of energy on the ball. It's going to land. The greens here are reasonably fast. It's very slightly uphill and a little bit right to left. So it's going to roll out a little bit. So I'm going to say, I think I need to chip with a sand wedge. And even though I say a lot, don't chip with lofted clubs, this would be a circumstance where I would try and chip with a lofted club. Thank you. So I've got my sand wedge here. I'm using my chipping technique that I've used since 1982 that Paul Runyon taught me. I've made another video and I'll put a link in the description on that method. So once I've chosen my club and my landing area, it just gets to the point where I say, okay, what length of swing do I need to land the ball on my spot? So we'll see how I go. So that ball's landed exactly on my spot. It's rolled up the hill, and that is about just over a club length from the hole. Maybe I could have used my gap wedge, but I don't think that's a bad chip. It was very safe. I've landed in my spot. I'm going to be pretty happy with that as a result on most occasions. So now we get down here and we look at this ball. So this is the ball that had the bad lie. There's a lot of grass surrounding the ball. The chances of me making really clean contact with this is going to be a lot less than the last one. I'm still going to use my landing area as a rough guide, but I'm probably going to bring it back towards me a little bit more. So I have to hit it a little bit less in the air. It's then going to run a little bit more, and from this lie it's going to roll a little bit more anyway. So I am probably going to use a pitching wedge on this occasion. So because I'm not going to make super clean contact, this is going to come out a little lower. I'm not going to be as targeted in my landing area. I have a general area I want to land, but it's going to be on the shorter side but because I'm going to make a bit of a thinner contact, the ball's going to roll more. So I'm probably landing at a pace and a half back. If it does land just on the edge, that's okay. But I'm going to use the same method. I'm not changing my technique. I'm keeping everything the same. But the less loft on the club is going to help make the ball roll a little more. So that ball's landed just short of where I wanted to, which was good. The ball has rolled. It's probably kicked on a little bit more than 2 putter or 2 club lengths from the hole. Still a good result. And that's especially from that bad lie. So I've added loft, taken loft off the club, making the shot roll a little more. I've brought my landing area back, and those 2 shots are pretty good results. You'd be very happy with those. Okay, so I've relocated now, and here is a good challenge. I have a few different options available to me. The lie here is quite good, so there's no problem with making good contact. This is slightly uphill, and there is a slope right to left, and it's bigger than it looks on the camera. So I could try and land the ball on the green, but if I land the ball on the green, let's see how far away that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's about 10 paces from where my ball is. And I would be thinking, with any club, what are my chances of hitting my landing area consistently from 10 paces? How many out of 10 can I land the ball in my landing zone? Now, the alternative to that is if I land the ball 3 paces, 1, 2, 3, somewhere in this area here, I'm going to be able to land the ball in my landing area a lot more consistently from 3 paces to 10 paces away. Therefore, the 3 pace landing area gives me better odds. It's firm ground. We've had a bit of rain overnight, but it's not wet. The green's fast. If I just choose a club with a minimal amount of loft, land it over there 3 paces away on the right hand side, the ball is going to roll and roll, take the slope, and it's going to end up. I'm going to be able to do that a lot more consistently than what I would if I used more loft on the club and landed the ball that 10 or 11 paces on the green. So for that reason, given all the circumstances, I've chosen a 6 iron, and I'm just going to land the ball over here. So I'm going to use the same technique, and I'm just thinking about my landing area. So I've hit my landing area, the ball's rolled on the green, you can see it turning left. I'm going to be pretty happy with that result. So just by choosing less loft on the club, landing the ball closer to me makes this shot a much easier proposition than the one that's going through the air longer. The more it goes through the air, the more chance you've got of backspin. You don't really want backspin when you're expecting it to run. It just brings more variables into the shot. So that's my process of how I go about choosing my landing area when I chip. If you want to improve your short game, I'm going to put a link to another video just up here I know is going to help improve your short game.